Hi, my name is Tenye Creates. I'm a creative producer and entrepreneur, and my passion is the creative industries. Welcome to Tenye Creates Tidbits. So the purpose of this vlog is for you to ask me any creative industries question. I'll look into it for you and try and present an answer for you. You might know that we recently launched a web series, and so a few questions came our way about producing a television production independently. So I've got a couple of questions here that I'm going to try and tackle. Of course, every production, every creative job is very unique. So you need to understand the parameters of your particular brief or your particular vision and go in and understand what you need to do to realize it. But there are a few general principles that you can apply when trying to execute. So the first question I got today was, how many episodes are in a telenovela? Is there a limit? Well, let's start by defining what a telenovela is. In terms of length, it sits somewhere between a soapy and a long-running drama. So typically telenovelas play daily or a few days a week on any particular television network. So it can play 3 days a week or 4 days a week or 5 days a week. So it means that the storylines can stretch over a longer period of time. Now, depending on the deal you have, sometimes you'll have 128 episodes that will play over a year or two. Sometimes it's 200 episodes, sometimes it's 80. So the point of it is, it's a long-running series that can play every single day or multiple days a week, and it sits somewhere between a drama and a soap. So the pace of a telenovela tends to be a little bit slower than a drama series, but a little bit faster than a soapy series. So the character journeys are a little bit more detailed, you get to experience multiple characters, and yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. In terms of length, minutes per episode, I think the thing to do is to just investigate what each broadcaster wants. The world has changed quite a bit, so typical broadcasters have to allocate advertising time every a half hour or every hour. Sometimes they'll ask for episodes to be 22 minutes long, so they can play up to 8 minutes worth of adverts, sometimes 23, sometimes 24. So a good idea is to do a bit of homework around which platform you think your telenovela can sit on, and then make sure that your episodes are the right time for that platform. What costs are involved in pre-production? So first of all, what is pre-production? Pre-production is the preparation phase before you actually start shooting your program. What's involved in pre-production? It's putting your team together, planning where you're going to shoot, planning what resources that you need to shoot. Now, depending on how complicated your production is, you need to allocate the right amount of time to do that. Sometimes you won't know how to do everything yourself, so the best thing to do is to find someone who's a bit more experienced, and that can make your pre-production process really efficient, so you're not fumbling along and trying to figure things out that could become problems down the line. But the internet is your friend, so do a lot of research around where you want your telenovela to be set, how complicated the world is, and then you'll know what you need to execute your production. Series producer fees. The nice thing about these things is that there's generally industry standards, but typically different networks have different benchmarks, and benchmarks mean like, what are their norms? What do they typically pay a producer? So newer broadcasters tend to have smaller budgets, so the amounts they allocate to a series producer might be less than a more established platform. So it's really good to find out what the benchmarks of your particular platform are. But if you don't have that, a little bit of digging online, you can find crew companies or companies that manage people that work on TV programs, and they usually can give you recommendations on the prices. A lot of the times with television production, anything is negotiable. So it's about finding the person first and seeing if you can meet halfway somehow. Detailed duties of a series producer? Google. Okay, no. So another question I was asked is, what is a series producer? Man, that is usually the person that carries the idea from the beginning to the end. A lot of the time, a producer is someone who kind of puts together the team that realizes the project, they manage them, they raise the financing for it, and they run the day-to-day production stuff. It's complicated a little bit because depending on the size of a production, you can have a production manager or different people that are looking after different aspects of a production. But a series producer really needs to understand what the needs of that particular genre are. So for example, if it's a reality TV series producer, they need to know how to budget for a reality TV show, what the creative elements that are needed for that TV show. They also relate directly with the broadcaster or the platform, so they understand how to bring together what the platform needs or the broadcaster needs, as well as what the production needs. So they're basically in a leadership role and a supervisory role of the entire production, and they manage the people, they manage the budgets. But like I said, they can have other people under them, like a production manager, to help them with the day-to-day stuff. Really, a series producer is very in charge of the money and making sure that the budgets are spent properly, but the creative vision is realized. How long does it take to produce a telenovela? It depends on how many episodes you have. So I can't really answer that, but examples are some shows take 6 months to shoot, but maybe they've got a long pre-production time, so like 3 months pre-production. So the planning, the researching, the finding the locations, the checking out the locations, the finding the people, etc. Might take you a month or 3 months to do that, and then you actually need to start shooting. But oftentimes how you work out how long it takes is how many pages a day are you shooting. So usually a script, a drama script, if it's a half-hour show, can be anything from 23 pages long to 30 pages long. In the pre-production phase, depending on what resources you have available, you can make a decision on how many pages a day you want to shoot. So say your script is 24 pages long, or an episode script is 24 pages long, and you say you want to shoot 12 pages a day. It means it takes you 2 days to shoot an episode, and so you can plan the duration of your entire schedule based on that. Of course, it's important to leave space for wiggle room because things can often go wrong on set. Actors can get sick, it can rain, so it's always good to have a buffer. But the first starting point is a realistic estimate of how many pages a day you can shoot within your particular context. The bottom line with any type of production that you're doing, there is no such thing as one size fits all. The best place to start is know what kind of film or show or series that you're making. Know the kind of team that you're putting together and the team that you can afford. And that often influences everything else. Hope that little tidbit helped somebody out there.